Hey, I'm back, and I mostly sound like a human being again. Today we're talking about issue number 17 of the Steven Universe ongoing series from a few years back, which I am still working my way through slowly and which I'm still very impressed with. And unlike a lot of these where it's kind of nebulous where exactly in the timeline they're set, this one is set very specifically during the period of time after Lapis left Earth. Peridot is living in Steven's bathroom at the start of the comic, but with Pumpkin telling you immediately when this story is set. And she's sulking, because of course she would be, and that tells you more or less what the story is going to be about, though on the surface it's about something different. As she is watering Pumpkin, Steven bursts in, talking about how he finally got a new video game he had wanted. He earned enough Pearl points to get it, which is extremely adorable. It's another one of those Golf Quest games, but this one seems more like a typical one-on-one fighter with the characters, which is a pretty cool concept. Kind of like a Smash Bros. Of only Final Fantasy characters. And he invites Peridot to play with him. She has no idea what a video game is. And after getting a feel for the character, she becomes super engrossed in this game, similar to how she became super engrossed in Camp Pining Hearts back in the day. Spending essentially an entire 24-hour period just sitting there and playing with each of the different characters, learning all of their strengths and weaknesses by heart. It's the kind of thing that somebody who really likes a fighting game might do over the course of, like, weeks of time, but she does it all in a day. And she gets Steven worried. So he goes to the other gems and talks to them about it, and they recognize that what she's doing is unhealthy, and decide, kind of like how Steven tried to break Garnet of a similar obsession with video game back in the day, to try to snap her out of her trance by defeating her at the game, which is of course easier said than done because she has studied all the strengths and weaknesses of these characters. So each of the gems give it a try. Pearl tries strategy, Amethyst tries button mashing, and Garnet tries being Garnet and winning easily. And it's really cool. They each have their own little fights with Peridot's character, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty well staged. They're very brief, very concise, but I liked them a lot. They each showed something of the combatants' characters. And in the end, after Peridot does snap out of her trance and start to talk to them, they actually relate this back to various events in the characters' lives, including that event with Garnet. Opening up to Peridot, getting her to open up about the fact that she's really doing this mostly just to keep from having to feel bad that Lapis left. Like they don't say so quite so plainly, but that's the gist of what she says here. Leading to the other characters reminding her that they're here for her, that she doesn't have to deal with her problems herself. That she has all of them. And they spend the rest of the evening playing other games, though at a healthier pace, and eating pizza, and it seemed like it would have been really fun. And I enjoyed this one a lot. I thought this was a fantastic issue. I could see this being a character-focused filler during that period of the show when Lapis had left. Like, I could see this animated and slide right in there, and it would feel entirely in place. It had so many references to continuity. I think this might be overall the most well-done issue of the comic so far. The art was pretty par for the course for these comics, so if you haven't been impressed with the art so far, this isn't going to change your mind, but I thought it looked fine. And the story was just great. It was a great little story. And the cover of this one's actually appropriate because the final showdown was Peridot versus Garnet, and the cover of this one shows them picking themselves as video game characters on a character select screen. So, for once, the cover of one of these comics actually had something to do with the contents. Not directly, but more directly than any of the previous ones. And it's a pretty banging looking cover anyway, just in general. This was just super solid. Like, I'm trying to think of some faults to, I don't know, counterbalance how much I've been gushing about it. I can't think of any. Read this one if you haven't. It's definitely worth it. Of course, though, if you have read Steven Universe Ongoing issue number 17, what did you think of it? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, you might as well like the video, share it with anyone else you think would enjoy my content, subscribe if you haven't. You can also check out links to my various social medias as well as many ways you can help out the channel. Those will be in the video description. But either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys, hopefully, later.